Greetings and welcome back to the Pull List Podcast. It is episode 128, our season finale. If you are here and you somehow struggle to make it through our super giant size mega issue last time, but we're glad that you came back to see what's going to happen here on this last episode of this season. Hector, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right, man. Think hopefully winding down a smidge before things kick back off for the summer. So,
Well, that's good, man. You had some exciting events this weekend. What happened this weekend?
uh, was it this weekend?
It was this past weekend. I mean, it may not have been like Saturday or Sunday, but it was in the last 5 days.
I was like, I forgot what day it is. My firstborn, my oldest child, graduated high school
Boom, boom.
From the Muggle Hogwarts, and the School of Science and Math, and moved back home, and then my other kids had dance recitals for all weekend, and I preached two sermons on Judas
Okay.
and
The
baptized a
comic
kid.
series or the actual person from the
Oh,
Bible?
the actual person, the Bible. But everybody that came to talk to me about Judas, like, man, I got questions and stuff afterwards. I was like, let me tell you about this comic book. That I definitely couldn't talk about from the pulpit. And then played like 4 hours of Dungeons and Dragons. So
Nice.
it's been a
Nice.
weekend.
Yeah, you posted a picture and the technically not Aslan or whatever it was. I was like, that's pretty funny. That's good stuff.
So we in our campaign, we somewhere along the line, I developed a ability called find a steed, where I can summon a animal to ride and to fight for me at any point. So I went with a lion, obviously, and I never named it. But all the people at the table are like, "Yeah, just call it Aslan and let's get it over with." I'm like, first of all, it's not for me to name this lion Aslan. Like, like if it was Aslan, it would be for him to reveal himself, not for me to say it. And so it just like every time they're like, I would be like, they'd say that it's Aslan. I'd be like, allegedly, or
Allegedly.
the DM was constantly changing. Like I posted like two photos, in between the two photos, he changed it. It went from definitely not Aslan to yeah, allegedly not Aslan. Um,
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, so busy weekend for you, which is exciting. And then con season is just continuing to ramp up. So how many do you have this summer that you're hitting?
um, so I would have done one on Saturday, but rain. Um, let's see.
You mean you don't want to cart a thing full of paper products through the rain to a con to set up somewhere?
No.
No.
Oh no, it was an outdoor event too.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. I was even thinking carting boxes through the rain of shirts that don't need to get wet, stickers that don't need to get wet, books that don't need to get
I've
wet.
done that plenty of time and hate my life during the process. But I've got let's see. I've got Heroes Con, which is the 12th through the 13th.
Yeah, just a couple weeks.
Yeah, and then I've got Mid-Atlantic Fantasy Con, which is a new Comic Con that is starting up on in Fredericksburg, Virginia, kind of near DC. Um, let's see. Then I've got 2 weeks of camp. I'm leading worship for some missionary kids for a week, and then I'm speaking at a camp in Alabama for a week. I'm running superhero camp for the city of Lumberton for a week, speaking at Camp Grace for a week.
Lumberton sounds like a fake place that's in a forest. That's what it's a fake town that someone made up. That's
It
what it
is,
is.
and it's right by the Lumber River, so definitely
Yes.
adds to the lore. Um,
Yeah.
and then got Galaxy Towards into July. Uh, what is it? Greenville Comic Con in August 8th. Soda City Comic Con, which definitely sounds like a fictional place,
It
in
does.
August.
Where everyone has
Um,
diabetes.
Brothers Boyd Comic Con, Empire Comic Con, Boone Comic Con. Um, and I honestly need to squeeze a couple more in there. Um,
Why do you need to squeeze a couple more in there?
because I once I hit Boone Comic Con, I'm probably out for the rest of the year.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
surgery wise. Just because it'll take me probably the rest of the year to build up enough ability to lift a box again.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. But basically, I've got uh the next 4 months. I'm gonna try and hit hard and heavy. So we'll see what I can squeeze into June and July on
Nice.
like Saturdays or whatever. But yeah,
I'm looking to do absolutely nothing for the next 9 weeks. Like that is my goal is just 9 weeks of nothing.
I'm trying to write a whole nother Faith and Fandom by September. So I don't know, like.
Well, I may get creative. I may get productive. So far, all my productive things are chores that have stacked up over the last 9 months. But once I get through those, who knows? Who knows?
Better put the word out. Get ready for the nerd out. Better put specs on. Better bring next on. I cut handsome checks for my expansion sets. They call me Obi-Wan. Act like you know me, son.
Let's shift over to our news. Heck, did you have any news this week that you want to bring up that you saw? You've had a kind of a busy weekend, so we wouldn't put it past you if you didn't have something.
I don't know if I announced it last week, but I was just going to throw it out there, and it's sort of applicable, not necessarily.
Saw the picture.
The dude, Paul Mignard, if I said his name right, or Mingard, I'm always going to say it wrong. Hold on, I can read it right back here. Mignard, I said it right. Okay. Paul Mignard is the guy who makes sketchy sermons, illustrations on Instagram, and where he would take sermon quotes from pastors or people and turn them into just a black and white illustration. He's also done like C.S. Lewis quotes and Ted Lasso quotes and stuff like that. He got a deal with Nelson Publishing
Real deal.
to do the sketchbook Bible. Now, it's not comics in its own right, but the art is very comic-y, and Paul's a great dude. But like the
Nice.
there are sketches all throughout.
I mean, the thing is huge. Like, if it had gold pages and Gothic font on the front, it would look like that Bible that sat in the front of the church when I was growing up. Like,
Yeah,
that's it's a big boy.
it's of that size, and
What's the
but
translation?
New King James,
Okay.
which was a surprise to me. I expected something
Yeah.
else, but like the art pages are in it that if you genuinely do want to sketch or like a um they have different prophets, different people, different scenarios
Nice.
all throughout it, and there's some stuff with definitions like yeah.
Uh,
But I just think
man.
it's cool that it's a very comic vibed thing,
Yeah.
and Paul is genuinely great in terms of that, and he's done interview with me for LTN before too. So
Nice. Yeah, my pastor's gonna think like, oh man, Burroughs is taking some notes. Nope, I'm just coloring in Mary and Joseph. I'm just coloring in here. But that'll be fun. That'll be good stuff. Good stuff. Very nice. I've got just two quick pieces. One is the announcement of a new ally to the Bat family. Do you know what I'm talking about?
no,
There is a new butler that is coming to the Bat family soon. A blonde girl. And so there are all kinds of people going, who could this be? So there were three big contenders who they were thinking it might have been.
in what book is this?
So it was an announcement. There's an announcement made. I have to find it. I was looking at it before, and then Bleeding Cool decided to give me a virus or try. And so my computer's like, nope, you're not going there anymore. Yeah, let me see. Let me see what I can find.
Just because literally in the book that I think that we were talking about earlier, they blow up the mansion.
Yep. So where is it? So this was let's see, where is it? So this is the solicitation for Batman number 12. So this is what, 3 issues from now? Is that right? Did we just have 9?
Yeah,
I think we
9 or
said 9.
10.
So this is the solicitation for it. It says 6 assassins, 1 city, countless ways to die. 6 of the world's deadliest killers have descended on Gotham City at once, but who hired them and who's the target? Surely it can't be the Batman. As the Caped Crusader races to uncover who set this deadly plan in motion, the late Alfred Pennyworth provides a gift from beyond the grave with the arrival of a brilliant new ally to the Bat family at a time when it needs it the most. And the picture it shows, let me copy the image address, drop it in Zoom so you can see it. Is a blonde butler. It's a blonde lady butler is what it shows. So if you need to see that, I can do the whole link to the article now that I found another one that's not at a virus-ridden site.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust to click on things that you put links to.
That's fair enough. So there were 3 that they thought it could have been when I was reading the article on the other site. And one of them was even Alicia Silverstone's character, Barbara Wilson from Batman and Robin.
So what are the other names considered?
So they're not showing up on this article, only on the other site, which I've already named. See, Julia Remarque, Daphne Pennyworth were the other 2.
See, Julia would have been my first thought.
So they were saying that there were some things that were different about the look of this character in the picture than typical Julia DeMarc. So they weren't as sure, but yeah. There's potential for this woman to be planted as a possible love interest in Bruce's life too, and yet it would hopefully not muddy the waters Bruce is already treading with the intelligent and endearing Dr. Annika Zeller, but probably will. So yeah. So anyways, new butler coming. New
but where's
ally.
she gonna butler?
He's got another spot, another house.
He's got a brownstone, but that's not enough for like a butler.
He's bought a new one. Who knows? It's all fake. It was the moon landing. The blowing up of Wayne Manor was just the moon landing. It was a set on a Hollywood studio. That's what. But
he hasn't lived in a mansion for like 8 years.
Buddy, I didn't pick this. It's just there. It's their idea. I've got no idea. No idea what's going on. You don't trust them to make good decisions?
No.
All right. So the other piece of news is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Have you seen played Marvel Cosmic Invasion? Have you seen this yet?
No.
So Marvel Cosmic Invasion is in the same vein as the Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge game, where it's the side-scrolling beat 'em up like we used to play in the arcade growing up. You know what I'm talking about? Like The Simpsons had one, whatever. So it's Marvel's version of that. So it's retro graphics. 4, 6 players can play at the same time on the same screen. Really, low resource hog. So they've made Cosmic Invasion, and they have 12 characters that have already been released in the main game. But of course, they want to suck every single penny that you have, even though pennies are worth nothing anymore, thanks Donald Trump. But they want to suck every one of those out of you, and so they have the first DLC where you can now add the Thing and Cyclops. And there's planned for like 6 or 7 DLCs, so new characters over and over and over again, so you get all kinds of people to play as. But it's the first one. It looks exciting. I've had it on my list, and depending on what work looks like this summer, I may be picking it up to play. And if I pick it up to play, would love to play with any of our listeners/viewers if they're wanting to hop on and play as well, because that's one of the benefits of a game like this is you can play online and it's not a huge resource hog like Apex or Fortnite or Call of Duty, all this stuff. So, but yeah, so I saw that and I was like, that I enjoy those kind of games because I'm playing with my kids. We're on the same team. Very little crying at the end of those gaming sessions. We play any that there's any kind of like. When we play Injustice and I win over and over and over again and everyone's crying, while it's a whole lot of fun for me, it's not nearly as much fun for everyone else in the room. But I have a great time, really just driving them crazy. So Marvel Cosmic Invasion DLC #1 releases soon. I think it's in the next week or so. So excited to get my hands on that. And yeah, the other piece of news I have, I'll have to bring it when I get to my polls because it has to do with one of my polls. So we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to, speaking of polls, jump over to our polls, and I've got some to talk about. You were not sure you would have any, so why don't you share your despair, and then we'll go from there.
It just wasn't a great week for actual good comics. I don't know, like, stuff I read didn't necessarily like enthrall me or make me really glad to be reading them.
I
I
had a
lit
couple. I had a couple. There was some that I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, but like not like I want to read that one again. I need to tell someone about this. Like, oh,
there
okay,
there was stuff that was okay that I enjoyed reading. And maybe I need to go through the things I took pictures of just to remind myself. But like,
okay.
um, I don't know. I actually got through my pile and I was like, phew, it's a good thing we don't have the pull list this week because these all suck.
And then I said,
Um,
I think we got one episode left, man. Yeah, perfect,
so yeah, that's
perfect,
happened.
perfect, perfect.
Uh,
Okay,
w One I'll say that was not disappointing and was an interesting read that I would have put and do put endorsingly is probably one you're already doing too.
listen, and number one on the list. That was the other bit of news. Is this is number one on the list this week, best selling. I have no idea what's happening, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on this. Let's talk about it.
That was about it. It's just like I don't know what's happening. I like Dinah's vibe in this. The fact that, and this is just spoilers, that it apparently they killed Oliver Queen off before this book ever started.
He ain't gonna be dead. He's gonna be alive.
I don't know, man.
I
I
know they showed him
genuinely,
with a. I know they showed him with a bullet in his head. I know, but he's gonna be alive. I don't know how yet. It's gonna happen. It's gonna have been a clone. I don't know. That's
the
what it
fact
is.
that we don't know who this Green Arrow is, that Oliver Queen is dead, that Dinah is doing security, and Dinah's a great character. I feel like this was good character development for Dinah, without relying on just Black Canary stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed reading this one. I enjoyed it, thought it was a solid book, and I didn't know what was going on. And here's the deal. If you give me a book and I don't know what's going on because I'm not supposed to know what's going on, good job.
There you go.
If you give me a book and I don't know what's going on because you're bad at storytelling,
Yeah.
less good job.
Different story. Yeah. Less good job.
Which
Yeah.
is, I feel like several of the books that I read this span
Hmm.
were, I don't know what's happening because y'all aren't good at this. And
Yes. Yes. I might give a few of those. Like I don't know what's happening here. I don't get this. With a few that did not make the
I have a
stack.
half of a stack right here that I could do that with. So.
So okay. So who are your top three suspects for Green Arrow? Who are your top three suspects for who Green Arrow is?
A resurrected Oliver Queen or a fake death Oliver Queen.
Yep. That's at the top.
I know they mentioned Merlin, and we
But
saw him.
Merlin, he mentioned Merlin, but I feel like that's gonna be too easy for it to be Merlin.
I know.
And Merlin sent Black Canary to go and protect this guy. So why would he send her to protect this guy if he was going to come and try like that? Maybe
And we also saw that Roy Harper exists in this and is not probably not him. I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't
who
either.
necessarily it would be.
It's a robot. It's a robot. That's who it is. Done. Figured it out.
According to the
Robot Queen. Robot
the
Queen. That's who it
the
is.
the CW shows or WB shows, it was basically Bruce Wayne anyway. So
There you go. Listen. Which I didn't have that one, but in the new Absolute Superman, there is Batman standing against a building as Clark goes or Kal-El goes through the sky as a comet. I was like, oh, there we go. Getting ready for this crossover. Let's go. But yes, also my pulls. Well done. Well done. Um, Speaking of absolute series, this one earned itself a stay of execution. I was like, I'm getting rid of this. This is terrible. I'm not doing it. And I read this one and I just say it earned a stay of execution. Not that it was good, but there was enough in it. I was like, all right, well, let's see what happens next. It's Absolute Green Lantern. It has been so boring the last like three issues that I was like, I just got to remember to tell them to take it off my polls. So we have this one. I said it earns a stay of execution because we've introduced Tomar Ray, right? That's how we say it, Tomar Ray. Does that make sense? Yeah.
yeah.
Bird dude. Introduce him as a red, and they're not lanterns. Like the way that it's set up in this universe, like they have this special OA space where they all go and hang out, the different lanterns, and talk to each other. And so this is Hal Jordan. He's pink for some reason, and no one knows why he's pink. And uh, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and so like they go in this little negative space, and they've been spending a lot of time in the negative space. Um, and so in this one that we find out that Tomar-Ray, like the way that they give up their power is not by a ring, but like they breathe this flame out of them into who they're going to give it to. Because it's all flames instead of ring power or whatever. And his mother gave him the abilities he had as their planet was getting ready to be destroyed by the actual villains in the series. And so she gave it to him to save him, and then she was killed. And so he's trying to basically puppeteer Joe Mullane or Sojourner Mullane as a Green Lantern to do his bidding. And he goes over all the reasons why there's no way that she's going to be able to do anything to him because she's not as strong as he is, not as practiced, whatever else. And then of course she uppercuts him in the last page, and that's where it ends. Like, oh, okay, I'll see what happens on the next one. So, stay of execution, Green Lantern number 14, Absolute Green Lantern number 14 has earned a stay of execution at least for uno mas. After uno mas, yo no sé.
I hear you. I think I tried one issue.
Listen, okay, this right here is the comic version of Lost season 5. Like there was like in the first couple issues, they're like, whoa, what's gonna happen there? What does this mean? Are they gonna explore this? Nope. So that's where kind of my frustration is, right? Because in the first one, it's this the symbol of the Green Lantern like drops on this town, traps them inside. They can't get out. There's Abin Sur is coming in like abducting people and be like, have no fear, and then they disappear. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. What's gonna happen with that? Nothing. They don't go over that anymore. Like they've not talked about it. And then John Stewart finds out that gold stuff goes through the green energy. And so like he's like spray painting stuff gold and like trying to get through, and then they take him away. It's like, are they gonna go over that again? Nope, not really. So all the little things, I was like, what's gonna happen here? What's this? They're not talking about it. So that's what I said. It's this close. It is this close. But this one, at least with Tomar-Ray and the story and how the fires pass and all those things, I'm like, okay, I'll give it one more. One more. Who knows? What else you got? Anything good? No? Maybe?
I I'm gonna go with Absolute Batman 20. It's consistent. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily disappointing, and they're doing stuff that's good storytelling. Um, and it's gruesome as all get out. Um, at this point in time, Bruce has decided just to embrace the full darkness or whatever. And Harley and Alfred are trying to bring him out. But now that all of his friends have been basically turned into villains by Bane, they're basically deciding to hang out together and deal with Bruce because he's cramping their style. Um, but I'm gonna say this: the most interesting thing going on in this book is this dude. Um,
What is
this
that?
that's the Straw Man.
That's
Um,
nightmare fuel is what that is.
and that's the least nightmare fuel picture of him in the book. Um,
Perfect.
and literally, he can just speak and tell you to do something, and you do it. And so like Batman's there interrogating Joe Chill in the cell. Um, and Strawman like shows up and does his thing and tells him to hang himself in front of Batman. And so now they all are chasing Batman, hunting him down for killing Joe Chill. And we get a little bit of the Robins as their little Power Ranger task force that they've got going on in there towards the end. And it's good, it's consistent, but like I feel like this book has gone in so many directions.
Mm,
And I'm not mad at all of it, but also like I don't know
no
that I have enough
cohesion, no
time
direction.
I don't have enough time to care for all of it. And so yeah. So
Mm,
this was a secondly consistent good book.
nice. Nice. I was looking for there was an ad and like the problem with getting like 9 DC books and 9 Marvel books is all the same ads every single issue. And you're like, I get it. Like you only have this that's coming out. Um, Reign of the Superboys. Is that what you're talking about with the Power Rangers, or is that something different?
Different.
Different.
In the absolute universe, the uh Robins, all the Robins that have ever existed are a teenage team of crime fighters given big suits and robots.
Mm,
So Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, Duke Thompson, um, Stephanie Brown are all like in uniforms and matching outfits, and they have a robot. And
nice.
yeah, they're
Uh,
there to be the antithesis of Batman and his darkness.
nice. Nice. Um, very cool. Uh, Next one I have is not one that I was like, y'all go pick this up, but just I don't know what's going on. And so I have to share like what is happening. This is one that I was very confused with. Um, I mentioned it before, and I'm even more confused now. So Inglorious X-Force number 5. So for those that have been paying attention, Cable is trying to prevent the assassination of Kamala Khan, the first mutant president, and says it's one of the. It says he doesn't remember anything except that it's one of us. So it's the team that he has formed. So he forms his team. He's finding out and he's eliminating suspects. And in this one, there's a few new little pieces and bits and bobs that they add in um, that are kind of interesting. Not sure what's going on. So, Warren Worthington III is on the team, and on occasion he goes into his Archangel mode. And I mentioned in the last episode or last issue, Sinister was there. So Sinister has given him a new ability as Blood Angel, whereas Archangel had Death Force, Blood Angel has Life Force. Whatever, I don't get that at all. And to show that he has Life Force, he's got to kill the rest of his team. Didn't get that part, but whatever. I just thought I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. But what ends up happening is Archangel ends or Angel, Blood Angel, Archangel, whatever, ends up not taking the deal with Mr. Sinister, and so now Cable's out of suspects. He has no idea. Like he has no idea now. Archangel protected Kamala Khan. Helverine protected Kamala Khan. Boom Boom protected Kamala Khan. He's going to be the one that protects Kamala Khan. And So he's like, it must not be one of us. It just means one mutant. And so now we have no idea who it is. But I had a question for you because there was the end, the little hook, little whatever. I have no idea what's going on. So I thought maybe I could ask the Super Brain. Let me make sure I get not the swimsuit issue ad that's also in every Marvel comic right now. What's going on here with Cable? What is this?
Make the screen
I could give
bigger.
you the context of what he says. It doesn't make any sense to me.
All right,
But
give me
I'm
the
like,
context.
so he keeps having blackouts. Domino is challenging him, and she's like, I think there's something wrong with your technovirus. The technovirus is doing it. And he says, I don't know what came over me. And she says, it's okay. It's okay, you big dork. Just listen to me. Next time I tell you, you're not acting like yourself. Now let's get you treated. And then he electrocutes her in the head. I don't know. She falls down, appearingly dead. And then he says, and it's not some old virus. I've wiped your memories clean, Domino. None of them have value any longer. And he speaks to the third person. Cable has spent too long living in the past, trying to make up for old sins. It's time for us to focus on the future. And then we have this little picture down here of the first X-Force, all of them. And so I don't know what's going on. Like, is this some kind of weird scroll thing? Is this the technovirus taking over? I don't know. But
Uh,
again, I see.
I don't think it's Scroll. I would lean towards Technovirus or maybe the Shi'ar.
Don't know. Don't know.
Um,
I did go and look and go, how many issues? And they're like, probably 10 to 12. I'm like, okay, I can stick with it for a few more to see what happens if we're looking at possibly 10 to 12 issues on that one. Um, we'll see. But it was weird. It was weird. But that's that one. You got any more? I got one more that I was like, I like this one. And then I've got one that I'm kind of using for spiritual content loosely.
I've got two I could do, and one I could do for that was kind of good, but also spiritual content. Uh,
Uh,
So you've got one more and then spiritual content?
Yep, I got one more. And it's one that we kind of briefly talked about last time, but we didn't really go into depth on it. You just said, "Hey, it's good, check it out."
I'll go with Wonder Woman then. I was between Wonder Woman and Alias on this, which is the Jessica Jones book, but I'm gonna go
Yep.
Wonder Woman. Um, this is a fast forward to the future storyline that they're doing. It's 20 years from now. Where Trinity, Wonder Woman's daughter, is, older, 25-ish or so. Steve Trevor has been captured and set free, and Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, and Trinity are journeying into the underworld for reasons.
For
Um,
reasons.
reasons. And so she's like they're literally she took a god killer sword and cut a hole into the earth and is diving down into Tartarus and uh pets Cerberus and calls him a good boy and gets him to lay down. Uh, the matriarch, which is the woman that is teased on the cover, and which is like how she's the daughter of the sovereign, which was the primary bad guy for the early portion of it, something to that effect, I believe. Um, but it's got them torturing and killing Superman in one of the panels. Um, it's got Wonder Woman punching Death in the face. Um, or not Death, but the boatman to the river Styx. And then hijacking his boat. She cut Zeus's leg off, like because he's in their way. But she's trying, and she goes to actually like hijack the fates, and then at the end of the issue, you get Wonder Woman actually meeting the matriarch before they cut to an ad for a book I'll never read. Um,
No,
the
Superman, lost father of Krypton, doesn't garner your interest.
Never gonna
where
happen.
where he and John Kent go on dad ventures across Kansas.
Oh no,
You don't want to read that one?
oh no.
No.
Um, yeah, Alias is still good though. Serial killer stuff with Typhoid Mary and uh Jessica Jones. Let me throw out a couple that, on the confusing level. I picked up Batwoman #3. Sure, I didn't enjoy one or two, but three brought the question into it.
Okay.
In fact, one of the other covers, standard covers, was like the question in Batwoman. And I love Renee Montoya as the question, but I don't, and I enjoy Greg Rucka as a writer. Greg Rucka has written some of the best, especially crime, whodunit stories in comics. I'm not enjoying it. Like,
Mm,
not even a little bit. Um,
mm.
Nightwing is weird. It's dealing with like weird stuff, but oh, sorry. This is the first time we've seen Starfire and I don't know how long in something, and she helps him with an investigation. But I'll say this, getting to the confusing portion. Um, it's Gail Simone, so I'm being nice and not poo-pooing anything. But there's this storyline they've been doing, Who's Been Sleeping Under My Bed. They're on this is the third of that storyline. I have no idea what's happening, and I think it's supposed to be that we have no idea what's happening and that will be revealed. But I'm telling you,
And then you
three,
go back and read it again and go, oh, now I see.
yeah,
The
when we,
birds never move when the girl was running around. The birds never move. That's all part of it.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations of like we'll get it, but basically X the X-Men team that has been for the first 24, 25 issues of this, like Rogue and Gambit walk downstairs and there's a different group of teenagers in the house, not the ones that have been the X-Men.
Mm,
And the X-Men that have been that group of teenagers is in some other world or some other group with a pterodactyl Professor X
nice.
and like a where magic is Colossus. Um,
Like, is Sauron, was that the pterodactyl
yeah,
thing from the cartoon? Is it Sauron?
but he's Professor X.
Points. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Um,
Take it.
and it's just like, and the thing is, the kids are realizing, hey, this isn't right. This isn't where we're supposed to be. And the X-Men and back in the house are like, This is wrong. And
Is
this
that
is
like a
what we
Deadpool fourth wall? Like that's what we're all thinking. Like this is not what it's supposed to be. Is that what it's trying to tell us? It's trying to be meta there and go this. I don't. This
yeah,
isn't right.
and so I think they're about to figure it out.
Okay.
But I'm just saying I've got nothing. I've
Mm,
lost. I also picked up because my comic shop owner told me to pick up Reborn Ultimate Impact #1. This is where the uh Ultimate Universe is crossing over to the main one.
okay.
No idea what's happening in this. Don't know who these people are. I know who Miles is, but none of the rest of us like I don't. That's my purse. I don't know you.
Yeah. Ones that didn't make the cut today for me. Ninja Turtles has gotten weirder. It's
I told
I'm
you.
listen. I'm having trouble hanging on. I'm trying. I'm trying. Ninja Turtles gotten weird. Um, Imperial Guardians. I'm not sure what's going on there. Like it feels like there's no cohesion with the story. But then I looked. It's issue 3. And there's only 5 issues that they're doing. So I'm like, at this point, I might as well just hang on and see what happens, I guess. 2 more issues. Um, Absolute Superman, I did enjoy, but didn't make the cuts. Geiger, I got super mad at Geiger this week. Like, if Geiger had not been good consistently, man, I'd been so mad. I'd have given it up today. But I'll hang on to it for a little while longer. We'll see what happens. But the other one that made the cut we talked about briefly was Daredevil #2. It came out between when I went to my shop and we recorded. So I didn't get a chance to read it before our last episode. And I'm enjoying it. I don't know exactly what's going on. All the weird eyeball things is kind of weirded me out a little bit. Especially this dude, the owl guy. I'm like, does he have eyeballs? Does he not have eyeballs? I'm not sure what that's supposed to look like, but it looks like he's got no eyeballs, but he has eyeballs. So I don't know. Is Owl like a big character? I've read
Oh yeah, he
more.
Owlsy. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like a criminal informant person, but he
yeah,
also looks like something's wrong with him.
yeah. He definitely does. So yeah, interesting enough. And then at the very end, we have Spider-Man is coming to save him. Spider-Man was in another comic I recently too. I was like, is he just gathering everyone for the summer event? That's what's happening, isn't it? They're just gathering everybody for some summer event they're going to do.
Oh no.
Summer event. We'll put a pin in that till the very end. All right, spiritual content. I'm going to do mine first because it's not really spiritual content. I just enjoyed the issue, and I was like, yeah, I can squeeze something out of this. Iron Man #5. If you've not been reading this, Tony Stark wants to see what the world can do. Well, he's trying to find like something that's like him, and so he's trying to find somebody to be kind of his successor. At the same time, AIM picks up all the contestants for this contest he had, and they're trying to make the next evil Tony Stark. And it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. And so yeah. So the Tinker in the last one has made his own set of armor based on all Tony's designs. And so they're duking it out. He's trying to save all the kids that are there. And this is when I was talking about Hector, and I was like, man, the pages just look pretty. There's a lot of red. A lot of red. I like, and a lot of fire. But what isn't really interesting there? Spiritual content here. #1, there's little things throughout here. #1, Tony Stark talks about him not being the creator. You're not the creator. You're the tinkerer. You can't make things on your own. You can't actually. You're just polluting. You're just tarnishing what's already been made. I thought of Satan. Satan does that. He doesn't create things. He just takes what's there and makes them worse. So Tony Stark ends up rejiggering all his stuff and makes it so that he just can't do anything. Like he knows how all this stuff works, and so he has the upper hand there. But then he also begins to highlight the fact that the reason why Tony Stark became Iron Man was not Tony Stark's brain, but all the people that influenced him along the way that were positive influences. What's wrong with the guy's name? Is it Yusef, the guy in the cave? He goes over. The guy in the cave, his dad. My dad wasn't the greatest dad, but he showed me that what teamwork means, what it works, how it works. And so at the very end of the main issue, they've gotten together and he's going to start having this academy where he takes all those smart people and he says, let's work together. Let's see what we can do. He says, I'm eventually going to be out of date. And so I want to make sure that you guys are well prepared and well equipped to be the next generation. So excited to see what this team's going to cook up with a whole bunch of big brains in the room. And it ends with, of course, the one who was forgotten. There was one kid who was left behind because they thought he was dead, but you know how comics go. Ain't nobody ever dead. And he's going to take over AIM, and he's going to be all jaded and angry. So spiritual content was #1, Satan doesn't make new things. He pollutes and tarnishes things that have already been made. He's not the creator. He's just a tinkerer. And two, the idea that we need each other, and that instead of trying to bear the burden all on his own shoulders, Tony Stark says he needs to begin to hand off the baton to the next generation. Which, for me, I think one of the reasons why this rang so true for me is right now that's kind of the stage of life that I'm in. In fact, last Wednesday I went to church. I was super frustrated with how work was going, and I've been removed from the position that I really enjoy doing, and someone else is being put in that position. And there's a lot that I did that they didn't do. And my sinful fleshly reaction was, I'm just going to watch them trip and fall. Like, I'm just going to watch them not know how to do it. Don't call me and ask because you've already removed me with 2 days left in the school year. So good luck. And we were in church, and my pastor was talking about a relay race, and he was talking about ministry. And you have to really, train up others so that you are training yourself out of a job so that you hand off to someone else. And I'm like, yeah, who's going to be handing me the baton? Like, where am I going to be going ministry wise next? Super excited. And the Lord said, no, I want you to really pay attention to this next bit here. This isn't for the church. It's for you to school. And he said that the person who has the baton, when they're handing off that baton, it is their job to make sure that it doesn't get dropped. And he goes, that's what I'm talking about for you. And so I then had to go and eat crow and say, how can I help to make this transition work? And so knowing that we have to be, as Christians, even though we may fight for our rights and say, I was treated wrongly, this isn't fair, y'all can figure it out. As Christians, we have to be humble, and we have to die to our own rights and say, what's the right thing to do? What's the loving, kind thing to do? And a lot of times it's not the fun thing to do. So I think that's why this one resonated with me. Is Tony's trying to hand that baton off well. He could very easily say, I'm doing my thing. Y'all figure it out. I had to do it on my own, but he realizes he didn't do it on his own. So that was my spiritual content of the week. Was Iron Man handing off the baton. So
Okay.
beat that. I'm kidding.
I don't have mine to show because mine's digital. Because I never saw it actually hit the shelves and missed it in person. Bizarro Year None, #1. Did you see that come out?
No.
Kevin Smith is writing a Bizarro origin story. And Bizarro Year None, #1, is it's an interesting one, and it looks like Frank Quitely style art, like Absolute Superman. Not Absolute Superman. What was the Superman that the last Superman movie was based on?
All-Star.
All-Star. It looks like All-Star Superman art. Um, but it's and I people complained about it because 75% of the book is literally Jimmy Olsen trying to get his first job at the Daily Planet, and Bizarro is not in it. Because at that point in time, Jimmy Olsen is the coffee runner, and he wants to be a reporter or a photographer or whatever. But towards the end of the book, Bizarro kidnaps Olsen and Perry White, and takes them to a Bizarro World Daily Planet
Okay.
to have them teach his Daily Planet staff how to run a paper properly.
Hmm.
Now, the thing is, Bizarro looks almost like Superman. He's not gray, he's not cracked, he's not grotesque, and he's having very clear and functional sentences. But you can also tell that he's trying really hard to hold it together, and he gets frustrated at one point and goes into his broken dialect. And all of the employees at the Daily Planet are the alternate versions of themselves. So like Steve Lombard, who's like the macho sports reporter, is very opposite, and I'll just leave it there. But
Is he writing a romance advice column?
I'm gonna leave it there. Because this is from Kevin Smith, so it's already walking lines. I'm not trying to get in trouble for.
Yep.
But one thing is a simple thing is like, because the entire time was of what we saw was that Jimmy Olsen was trying to get a job at the planet in Bizarre. Once they get to Bizarro World, Bizarro makes Jimmy the editor in chief of the Daily Planet, and makes Perry White the coffee boy. So it was kind of a first shall be last, last shall be first type
Yeah.
thing. But the main thing was that once he leaves the planet, Bizarro goes and along the world, walks along this planet that he's on in his little world, and there's a narration that says, "For years, people have asked the question." Let me read it properly. Hold on. But it says that where's my Kindle? There we go. Okay, here we go. So Bizarro flies off to a planet, and it says, since the dawn of consciousness, humans have asked the same age-old question: Is there a God? Well, on this, sorry, I'm trying to read this, and it's small, and it's also in that weird Kindle thing that if you click it, it'll jump to another panel. And on this particular strange new world, there is a God. It turns out there is a God, and he's a real jerk. That's that Bizarro is the deity of this alternate world, and that he is not good at it. He's poorly holding it together, and a lot of other people are going to suffer because of the consequences. And it just really hits home to me in the fact that then when we try to make ourselves the ruler, the sovereign, the lord of what's going on, we're not going to be good at it.
Mm.
And so you can tell that the tone of this is that this whole thing is going to further shift into chaos and everything else. And I think that's just a fitting concept for us when we do things in our own strength.
That it is. Mm. So, when's the next issue come out for that one? You gonna keep your eyes open for it?
I will. But again, I never saw it on shelves. And there was something complaint. There's some like hubbub about it not being available enough. And Kevin, I didn't. What reminded me of it is that Kevin put out a social media post about how they sold out of everything. I was
Mm.
like, y'all must have did it when I wasn't looking.
Mm.
Um, and that there were a lot of complaints about it. So I was like, I just genuinely don't know. Um, yeah,
Yeah, another ad on every single comic that I read this week. Yep, another one.
the Jay and Silent Bob,
Yeah.
yeah, Marvel episode,
Jays of Future Past. Yes.
yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, very cool. Well, hey, before we go and wrap it up for the season, I'm springing something on you. So I want us. I know, it's not difficult. All right, so let's say that someone says, "Man, I want some comic homework over the summer. I want some summer school, some comic summer school." What are some things that we can recommend for them to be checking out, either to watch? We've got some big movie releases coming out this summer to watch, to read, maybe some back stuff that we go, "Hey, pick this up while you're thinking about summer." Anything come to mind that you're like, man, if you're looking for something to read this summer and you're out of stuff, and the summer events you just don't want to get in the middle of, what are some things you can go, hey, check these things out. These would be good things to enjoy. So first, let's start with some movies. So comic movies coming out or nerdy movies coming out. Do you have any hopes for any of them?
I'm sure Supergirl will be fine.
I think Super's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that one. Yep. I think it's gonna be fun. What about
Spider-Man will be
the
fine. It'll be
yes,
Spider-Man will be good. It'll be really
yes.
good.
What about Lanterns on HBO Max?
Is that really summer?
I think it's August, technically
Yeah.
summer,
Okay.
technically.
Um,
I've been seeing some no bueno fans, no bueno, not excited. It's gonna be ruined.
I enjoyed The Penguin a lot, but the production value between a show like The Penguin versus a show like Lanterns is going to be leaps and bounds different. I also don't know what they're doing with Lanterns. Like, I get that they're doing like a true detective, hey, I'm trying to train you up before I pass the torch type situation. And I know I'll watch it. Um, I saw the Ryan Reynolds one in theaters 3 times. Um,
In theaters 3 times.
yeah,
In theaters 3 times. I mean,
yeah.
I may have seen it 3 times, but I wasn't going to pay a ticket price 3 times.
So I I'll watch the Lanterns one without question, but it's not one I would push for people to watch because I think that's going to need to prove itself. I feel like of everything that's coming out over the summer, it's the one that's got the most uphill climb
Yeah.
because people are like they're hitting they're I'll say this, they're striking well with the Iron Hot being coming right off Superman to have Supergirl the next year and then to
Yep.
have another Superman the next year.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
they're milking that well. Um
Yes.
So I think that'll be fun. I don't think people are also expecting Supergirl to live up to Superman, but I think it's going to have its own stuff. And plus, they're including crypto in all the marketing and the storyline, which is definitely going to help.
Yes.
Because I was literally sitting next to someone at a movie this week, and they're like, they didn't love Superman, but they're like, crypto. I'm like, okay, yeah. See, this is why they do these things.
Oh, that's why.
Um,
That's why. Yep.
I feel like those are things I would definitely say. It's not movies, but since you cross over to TV, My Adventures with Superman
Yeah. Season two's
three,
coming.
three.
Season three. That's right. Season three. I watched season one and two at the same time, so it feels like one season, and they're only like 8 episodes each. So,
And I
um,
would highly recommend if you've not watched that, go back and watch season 1 and 2 so you can be prepared for season 3.
there we go.
Um, in
Yes.
terms of watching, I think that's all I really know about that because now that
Nice.
we've already gone through Daredevil, if you haven't watched Daredevil Born Again season 2, please do that because D'Onofrio is a
Do
masterpiece.
do it. Yes, I did watch the season finale, and you're like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh my gosh, it was good. Such a good
And
episode.
they made Bullseye so good.
Yes, whole thing. There's a reason why it is was the most watched or most hyped Disney Plus episode yet, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. All right, so things that we can read. What are some things that we can read this summer? You're like, hey, if you're looking for something to read and you haven't read it yet, you're picking one book to go over and be like, hey, go curl up with this and read this.
I don't know if it'd be the one I would pick, but
A one.
I will say that you should read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yes, yeah.
Hold on, I
If you
can.
don't read it before the movie, you can read it after the movie and compare notes. That bookshelf needs to be just 4 inches closer. Wouldn't you agree?
Um, say that one more time.
Listen, because you had your headphones off, I was like, I'm just gonna keep saying stuff and then make you agree. No, I just said the bookshelf needs to be 4 inches closer. That's all. 4 inches
That's it. Yeah.
closer.
Um, that's the thing. I think this is a book that
Oh, it's a good
it
one. It's a really good one.
it's a great book, and I know that the movie's not going to like adapt it fully.
Right.
Like that's not the goal. He says that it will have a vibe. Oh, that's what I would say for sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth reading. For me, one that I would also say Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
Okay.
Um, Daniel Warren Johnson 4 issue Super or Wonder Woman story. It would be super dope. Um, if you want to stock up on some good Lantern content before Lanterns come out, I would say hit Brightest Day or hit that not Brightest Day, yeah,
Darkest Night. Brightest
Blackest
Day I
Night.
have and is on my reading list this summer, but Darkest Night, Blackest Night, sorry.
Yeah. Blackest Night. I would say Blackest Night. Like right here, I've got the whole thing in like one volume.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I would honestly say pick up the
And Absolute Green Lantern, which has been just completely fantastic and no possible reason why you wouldn't want to read the whole series so far. No, not that one.
you did mention Injustice too, and I feel like Injustice is always a
Yep.
good DC staple. Yeah, I don't know. Those are things that I feel pretty good about. We just had such a strong superhero run between The Boys, Invincible, and Daredevil all
Yeah.
going stride for stride with each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Last thing, other content that's not necessarily comics related, but is pull list adjacent. Hector, you've got a new book that's out
I
and
do.
several other things you're going to continue doing over the summer. How are ways that they can connect with you over the summer?
So this is the not final copy. This copy is going to get lit on fire in a promo coming
Pronounce
up
that
real
for
soon.
me.
Huh?
Pronounce that for me.
Attorney.
Attorney. That was how I would have done it in my head, but I was like, maybe it's fancy because it's got the umlaut over
It's
the
an
E.
Elvish word for company, association, alliance, brother, party, or chosen family.
Nice. Looks like
Um,
you're reading off the back cover for that one.
I am. I'm exactly reading it off the back cover because it's right there. It's the top definition on the back
Nice.
cover. Um,
Nice.
but this was literally like we were asking what we were going to call our little group that was doing D&D, and our dungeon master was like, well, there's this word I found in Elvish, and I was
Nice.
going to originally call this the initiative.
Okay.
Um, but there's a D&D themed spicy book called the initiative, and it's like roll for domination or something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need this coming up in my search. So, um,
Nope.
but this is my first fully fictional thing that's not like based on life or a kid's book.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's 40 chapters. It's if you enjoy any kind of fantasy adventure, just a fun storyline. It's fun, but it's also there's a neat thing to it. There are pop culture references all throughout it. Um, and I've all the pop culture references are highlighted or not highlighted,
Mm,
sorry, italicized. And so one of the things I'm telling people when they get the book, um, and like I'm telling people that if you can take the book and whether write it down on the book, write it as a sheet or whatever, if you can identify every pop culture reference, you get $100 cash and you get your own character written into the second book. So,
nice.
point of reference, I just opened this page. It's in chapter two. The chapter is called "A Giant, a Dwarf, and a Dragon Walk into a Bar," and like this is three of the party members meeting up at a tavern for the first time. Um, at the Dragonborn, who's the leader of the party, says, and it says, as they shook hands, Torrin stopped smiling long enough to comment, Grum and Cayman meeting for the first time. Take a moment and remember this, gentlemen. When our legend is told, they'll tell the story of this moment. They'll tell the story of this day. And then in italics, it says, they'll tell the story of tonight. So that's a pop that they'll tell the story of tonight is a direct pop culture reference. So if you were to be able to say, I know where that's from, that's this with those things, there'll be like a Ready Player One level
Nice.
competition towards the end of it. If not, it'll just be certain things that'll catch with some people and make them smile. Um,
Nice.
but I'll get all of my physical copies. Like I get this is the test copy. I made some corrections. The physical copies arrive Wednesday, and which should be, I guess, the day this is airing, so they'll have them on hand.
There we
Um,
go. Perfect timing.
yep.
When Mrs. Next Gen Nerd allows me to spend money again, I'm getting a copy. She has told me, stop, please, for all that is good and holy in the world, spending
Stop spending
money.
money.
So yeah. Like I was like, hey, can I get some extra turkey for my sandwich? She's like, nope, not in the budget. Not in the budget. No can do. No, she wasn't that strict at all. But very cool. And then you're still gonna do your news podcast over the summer and everything else?
Yeah, as long as it's viable, I'll be doing the news podcast on Friday mornings. Like sometimes depending on where I'm at for camps and stuff or cons, it might not be like this past week, I think is the third time I haven't done it. But my daughter was literally graduating at 7 a.m. and I was like, I'll do it when I get to the house. And then after moving her out of her dorm room and everything else, I was like, you know what? I don't care. Um, but there will be hopefully I'm working on new devotionals for Faith and Fandom 11 and I'll be posting those as they come out. I'm doing weekly devotional on my socials and stuff for like just a weekly like 3 minute video and audio devotional. I also started a Faith and Fandom TikTok. Um,
I saw that. Yeah.
And so I'm just putting that together. Like I for like I don't know. Not that I was scared of the internet, but I also wasn't trying to like have one more thing that was just the
One
work.
more thing that you had to maintain. Yeah, I get it.
So now I've took the first 25 Faith and Fandom bite-sized devotionals videos, and I'm doing that, and I'll go forward moving content with podcasts and stuff. But also, I started a thing this week where I'm going back and like reviewing like each book that I've done so far, just be like, hey, this sucked, and or like just kind of stuff that went along with it. So there's lots of content with that, and yeah, and again, all of the devotionals that are actually in the main series of Faith and Fandom you can read for free on our website too. So at
Nice.
faithandfandom.org.
Well, I understand the man. I felt exhausted doing an episode of a podcast. Did not make my list of things to do. As you can see here, konnichiwa. It's Manga May. We're almost done with May, and I've gotten one of our episodes out. So I am sitting in where I typically do all my stuff, and it is now 92 degrees because the AC doesn't work up here. But if you want to connect with me more over the summer, nextgennerd.com. Got my audio podcast there. And it's also nextgen_nerd on YouTube. And I will be getting these episodes up because my son is begging me. So my son and I were doing 5 episodes on my show on some of his favorite manga, just doing like the first issue. So you can check those out over the summer. We'll be doing some more stuff too over the summer on our YouTube as well. So Next Gen Nerd. In fact, he said, please, Dad, since you're going up there, can you go ahead and do our next episode? So yes, I will continue to sweat for another hour and 45 minutes to record and edit another episode to put up today. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, it will already be out. The first 2 episodes of Manga May, we did Blue Lock first because he loves Blue Lock. Cool, whatever. Wasn't my cup of tea. And then the second one we did was Demon Slayer. So we've got Demon Slayer, and the next ones that are coming up, My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist, and Naruto are the ones that we're going to be doing. So
Nice.
I'll be talking about. Yeah. So that's what you can check out with us. If you're wanting other LTN content, there's plenty of stuff. Plenty of Love Night Nerd content. The podcast network takes a break over the summer. So if you're looking for new stuff on the podcast, it won't be there. But you probably haven't watched all the stuff that they have anyway. So you can go to lovenightnerd.com, check out all their different shows. If you have an interest, it's there. If you don't have a show that matches your interest, let us know because we probably have a show in the works coming for that. So let us know about that as well. If you want to read articles, there's some wonderful articles. I'm looking forward to having some time off to catch up on some of those that have been written over the last several months at lovethynerd.com. We're also on the Glue network, the Glue app on your Roku TV, Fire Stick, all those things. Glue means God loves you. We're one of the top content providers there. You can see Bible Thumps. Hector, you've done some Bible Thumps. I've done some Bible Thumps. They're all up there. And so go by there and check out all that content. There's so much. If you're looking for a playlist to listen to, they also have tons of Spotify playlists that Radio Matt has curated for seriously whatever your interest is. And if it's not there, send him a message and he will probably make a playlist for you for that. I think that is everything that we have, this being our season finale. Anything else I've missed, Hector, that you can think of?
No, I think that's about it.
No. If you're looking for any other merch, Hector's got it all. Stickers, shirts, all the things. They're all there. You can buy them. I thoroughly enjoy it. Let me see. Is it on this one? No, it's on my other one. Do you have the Thou Shalt Not Be a Turd, right? That was your sticker,
Yeah.
right?
Well, originally that was Radio Matt's for Back Row Radio or Back Row
Nice.
Baptist. And then when they kind of shifted gears, I asked him for permission. It's like, can I have that? Also,
Well, my
I don't know
8-year-old
if
read it and he was like, what does this mean? I was like, oh, okay, let's sit down and have a theological lesson on how this is, probably not the best thing to have in my water bottle for my 8-year-old to read, but that's okay. I'm glad I have it anyways. It's helpful. What was the thing you're going to share? Sorry.
I was just like, occasionally I'll find some people that have stickers that I'm just like, yo, I really need to do this. Like, one of my con friends made a really awesome. Oh, hold on, I can turn my camera around and show it. It's because it's on my laptop.
I feel like I'm being transported to another world.
Hold up, wrong way. This way. They made a standout sticker like
Nice.
Goofy
Do you
movie.
notice me? Yeah.
And so like they have officially finished their con schedule until August. And so I was like, I'd like to sublet that sticker. It's like
Yes.
I'll buy the rest
Yes.
of the ones you have and give you a little extra money because I want to sell that at cons because that'll be
There
good.
you go. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, fantastic. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode of the Pull List Podcast, our season finale. We will see you guys on the other side of the summer. And until next time, guys, always remember to read more comics. Bye.
I'm gonna take all 7